Beautiful time after the sacred arati, as the day shifts into evening. And it's such a sacred and beautiful time to come together. And it's a time of questions. Whatever question may be there in your mind and your heart. Anything that's keeping you separate from the truth of yourself. Ultimately, when we speak about satsang, it's that association of the truth, that association with truth. And so satsang is the time when whatever it is in your life that is keeping you from living in the truth as the truth of who you are, we dive into it together. So I'll open it up if anyone here has any questions. Yes.
Krishna and Buddha, celebration and renunciation. Krishna and Buddha, celebration and renunciation. Can you explain a little bit?
So he said, for those of you who didn't hear it, it was a very simple but very deep, of course, question. He said, Krishna and Buddha, celebration and renunciation. They're not actually different. They're simply different ways in, but where they're going is the same. In order to really celebrate, true celebration, there has to be renunciation. If my mind is stuck in attachments, in expectations, in desires, people would on the surface say, oh, so she's celebrating. But if inside of me there is not renunciation, and I don't mean the renunciation of a sannyasi, I don't mean my particular personal dharma, I mean for everyone. You cannot really celebrate. If as I look around, I think, oh God, she's got so much of a nicer handbag than I have. Oh, her sari's so much nicer than mine is. She's got nicer jewels than I have. Oh, she's so much prettier than I am. If wherever I go, I'm constantly thinking, kya milega, kaise prapt karu. तो celebration कभी नहीं हो सकते हैं. Celebration happens only when I am actually able to be free. If you are in jail, you cannot celebrate. It may be Thursday nights and they may give out chocolate cake, who knows? But if you are in jail, you cannot celebrate. Because you know, no matter how much chocolate cake they are giving me, I'm in jail. Doesn't matter what they're giving me to eat. I'm in jail. And in the same way, it doesn't matter how much we dance, where we go, who we party with. if inside we are not free, that real celebration can never happen. And so renunciation doesn't have to be renunciation of family, doesn't have to be renunciation of possessions or renunciation of, grahasti life like a sannyasi takes. If you're not a sannyasi, well, you don't have to renounce what a sannyasi renounces. But you must renounce the attachment to this ego. You must renounce the attachment to this identification. Nahi to maan lijiyega, may celebrate kar rahi hoon, may naach rahi hoon, may ga rahi hoon. And all I can think of is, I wonder if he's attracted to me. Wonder if somebody's looking at me. Aren't I the best dancer in the room? Or if you're all worried about, oh my God, I look so stupid when I dance. Sabhi has rahe honge mere baare mein. Either way, you are stuck. And you cannot really dance. Because the mind is stuck in the body, in the ego, thinking that I am this size or shape or color, that I am what people think about me. This is why the renunciation and the celebration go together. When you renounce that which is holding you back, when you renounce that which is not real, then only you're free to actually celebrate that which is real. Ek example मैं आपको दूं. Imagine that you are walking down the beach. And along the beach there are a lot of shiny, nice seashells. And you collect them, you pick them up. Little rocks, little seashells, alag-alag rang, they're shiny, they look beautiful. Now your hands are full of them. Acha lagta aapko. But when you get to the end of the beach, you notice कि वहाँ पे एक आदमी है. At the end of the beach, you get there. और एक आदमी खड़े हैं. एक balti, a full bucket of diamonds this man has at the end of the beach. And the man with the bucket of diamonds is just pouring the diamonds out into whoever's hands get there to hold them. Okay? And seems like an infinite flowing bucket of diamonds. They're just falling out. Now what are you going to do? Your hands are full of seashells and rocks. There's no room for anything else. Karenge kya? Are you going to say, oh, too bad. I guess aaj mera bhagya mein nahi hai to get diamonds because I'm already full of seashells? Or are you going to let go of those seashells so fast, instinctively, because you understand what is being offered is of much more value than what I have? Both are beautiful. Hold a seashell, hold a diamond, they both glimmer and glisten and shine. But we understand one is of much more value. And therefore nobody needs to say, Hare apne haath khali kar do bhai sahab. Apne aap haath khali ho gaya. The moment we see the diamonds, immediately we drop what are in our hands. And it's actually the same thing with this celebration. If you think of diamonds, this valuable thing, as celebration, ecstasy, bliss, freedom, well, in order to experience it, we have to let go of that which is already filling our lives. Which is stuff we've picked up along the way, like the seashells. Jivan ki yatra pe chalte, 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 chalte. This sanskar has come, this idea has come, this impression has come, this identity has come, this attachment has come, this grudge has come, this desire has come. And then we find ourselves with our hands full, jaganiye. In order to actually be able to open ourselves to this divine celebration, pale hath ko kali karna hai. We have to let go. So that's the renunciation. It's a renunciation of that which is filling my hands so that I cannot hold the diamonds. So they go together. Different times, different people, different communities, they came bearing different words, different messages, different specific incarnations and stories. But ultimately, it's the same path to God. That same path of letting go of everything that is not real. Right? That's what Bhagwan Krishna teaches us in the Bhagavad Gita anyway, about renunciation. So they actually are much more similar than they look, giving us different aspects of this divine truth. Because Bhagwan Krishna was not only about celebration. The Gita is all about tyag, yoga, all the different ways in that ultimately end in celebration. Another way to think about it is if you look at Lord Shiva. The Bhagwan Shiva has three main forms. Jo bete hue dhyan, nachte hue nataraj, and the Shivlinga. Now, it's not that they're sequential. It's not that, oh, for 10 years he was this, then 10 years that, then 10 years that. We're reading chronologically. It's all Shankar Bhagwan. And what it teaches us is, in our meditation, let there be dance. Means action. In our action, let there be meditation. And in both, let there be the awareness that we are this infinite reality. Beautiful, thank you. Yes.
The difference between destiny and free will. I've heard this several times, but I've still not got it.
So she said, what's the difference between destiny and free will? But they're not opposites. They actually go together. They're two parts of what we consider and speak about as our karmic package. This cycle of birth and reincarnation, all of our karma and the fruits of the karma, they actually all go together. Here's an easy way to think about it. Let's say right now, in this moment, the sum of all of your past karma, right now, you have been given a cow. Take go milabko. That is your destiny in this moment. And you can't change it because it's due to your karma. So you can't say, oh, ho, ho, I'd rather have a kitty cat. Or I'd rather have a puppy dog. You have a cow. Cannot change it. Now from the cow, we get many things. The cow gives us milk. And assuming that the cow is treated like a member of your family, loved and cared for, and the cow's babies drink the milk first. The cow roams outside, eats only organic food. Well then, the milk that comes from that cow is amrit, that's nectar. From it we make ghee, we make dahi, we make paneer, we drink the milk. And we become strong and healthy and nourished and nurtured. And from the cow also we get gobar, right? Poop. Now, if you take gobar and you use it in your field, it's a wonderful fertilizer. Khet mein dalte hai gobar. It's fantastic as an organic fertilizer. You can use it here. Yahan pe Pujya Swamiji ka pura jhopdi gobar se bani hui hai. Right? Stays warm in the winter, cool in the summer. It's fantastic. But if you eat the manure, if you eat the gobar, and you take the milk and you pour it in your field, फिर क्या होगा? बीमार हो जाएंगे, right? You will get sick and your field will die. Now, people say, oh, तो मेरा किस्मत है, मेरा भाग्य में नहीं है स्वस्थ रहने का. वो भाग्य की बात नहीं है, आप गोबर खा रहे हैं. We say, oh, my stars must be in the wrong place. That's why I'm sick. That's why my crops are failing. But that was not your destiny. The destiny was the cow. When you started doing karma, means action, of eating the manure and pouring the milk in your field, those actions led to the next moment of destiny, which is you are sick and your field has died. But that was not your destiny from the day the cow was given to you. That destiny was written when you decided that you were going to do the wrong things with that cow. Maybe it was because you had an ego that said, nahin, nahin, main aise karungi. Or maybe it was very simple, you didn't know. Maybe you were just ignorant. But in your ignorance, you did not seek wisdom. You did not say to someone, Dekho, I have this cow. From it, this white stuff comes, this yellow stuff comes, this brown stuff comes. Aap batao main karun kya? You didn't seek wisdom or guidance. And so you made the wrong decisions. And those wrong decisions have consequences. This is why the Guru, the scriptures, Satsang, Katha, that's why these are so critical, because in life we don't always know what to do. There's so much of life where we are in that situation where suddenly we've got something white, something yellow, something brown. और हमारे कोई idea नहीं है कि मैं करूँ क्या? What to eat, what to use for the field. And that's when we look around for who can I ask? Who's a wise person here? So your destiny is written by your free will. Your free will is creating your destiny. Now, it's creating your destiny along with the way that your free will operated in the past. So your free will of today, plus your free will of earlier in this life, of past lives, all together are creating your destiny. What you did in your past life, or earlier in this life, with your free will, that karma, that action you engaged in, by choice, is giving you fruit, karmic fruit. That fruit is now interacting with the karma you are doing right now. And then together they become your destiny in the future. So, after Aarti, we'll just take right here, after Aarti, you all decided, chalo satsang chale. Now, you decided that with your free will, but some of that is the result of past karmas, over your past births, earlier in this life. You've got sanskaras due to your karma that led you, for example, to vacation in Rishikesh rather than in Goa. Okay? So you didn't just fall here out of the ether. It wasn't like you were sitting on a cloud and you said, where should I go? The sum total of all of your past karmas, which have created this particular incarnation, with the sanskars you've gotten, led you to decide to come to a holy place. And then it led you to decide to spend the evening on the banks of Ganga. You could have gone to the movies. It's also an option. But you didn't. You decided to come to the banks of Ganga to perform the Aarti. And after the Aarti, again, in intersection with that which has already been written because it is your personality, you are not the going to the bars, getting drunk people. And so in intersection with that aspect of your personality that has been created due to past karmas, you decided to come to satsang. Now, sitting in satsang, so we can say this is your destiny of the moment, right? Your free will created it, but now you are here. Now you've got some options. You can be here fully present, listening not just with the ears, but with your heart, with your inner self. You can ask courageously your deep questions. Or you can sit here thinking, ki, I should have gone for pizza. Chalo, uske baad hum pizza khane jayenge. Uske baad we'll go to the bar or the pub or the... Now that thought that you have in this moment is creating your next destiny. How you feel tomorrow morning will depend upon the thoughts you are having as you sit in here. Are you going to feel inspired, connected, awakened? Or are you going to have a stomach ache and feel hungover? Not because it's your destiny, but because right now you are making that choice. So that's how they intersect together. Every minute and every moment, your free will is creating new karmic fruits based on how you act. And all of that intersects with the past and is giving you what we continue to receive as our destiny. So you can think about it very simply as in right now is the pre of when we talk about something is predetermined or predestined. Well, right now, the actions you do are the pre for the destiny you will have tomorrow. This is the pre. So this is why it's so important for us to be anchored, to be grounded, to be connected. So we make decisions that give us a destiny that is the one that we want to live, the one we're meant to live. Beautiful. Does anyone else have a question? Yes, Tracy. He's bringing you the mic.
On your beautiful birthday today, is there anything that you would like to share with us that stands out for you that you have learned here in your 25 years?
There's so much I've learned here. You couldn't even begin to bring it into some kind of coalescing. I think the core thing that I've learned here is faith. I was never someone who trusted. I didn't trust God. I didn't even really believe in God much. Certainly didn't know God. I didn't trust the universe. I didn't trust myself. It led to a life that was very, very successful. From the outside looking in, I was thriving. Had graduated from Stanford, was in the midst of a PhD program, getting straight A's. If you had looked at me, you would have said, this girl's got it all together. But I held it together with a death grip. Micromanaging. Every minute, every moment. Life was incredibly stressful because it was up to you. Everything was a threat. Everything was stressful. And in order to make it through the day, you had to micromanage it and hold on to it with a death grip. And what I learned here was this incredible gift of what I call a trust fall into the universe, of really being able to know we're being carried, we're being held. It's not up to me. There's this divine flow, energy, intelligence, presence that is carrying us all and that's flowing through us all. If we can only listen to it, that I didn't have to figure everything out. I didn't have to make it all happen. If I just could become still and quiet enough to hear that voice, that signal, that sign of the divine, and move accordingly. It all happened. It doesn't mean I didn't work. I have worked, 15, 16 hours a day for 25 years. So it doesn't mean you don't work, but it's work in which you are an instrument in the divine's hands. And so there isn't that stress. There isn't that sense of it's up to me. There isn't that death grip on it. Because there's an awareness that the divine is just flowing through and all we have to do is show up. And so this faith in God's plan. And by the way, that doesn't mean complacency. A lot of times people think that faith means you become complacent. Oh, whatever, yeah, no problem. And like, why bother doing anything? Because it's all just whatever God wants is going to happen anyway, and there's no point. And it's not that. It's an awareness, as we were just speaking, that every minute and every moment I am called to show up in my attention, in my intention, in my heart, in my connection, in my surrender, so that that divine flow, that intelligence can flow through me. So that not only my destiny, not my individual destiny, but my destiny that is a thread in the tapestry of existence is woven together. And so, yeah, learning to trust, having a relationship with God of just deep, deep, deep trust, faith, trusting the universe, trusting myself, not the ego self. The ego self still makes all sorts of mistakes, gets me into all sorts of mental turmoil, not the ego self. But the self that is one with the divine. Learning to trust that self, that intuition, that knowing that we all have. And knowing that that divine speaks through me as well. And if I can become quiet, I can hear it. And so you learn to trust the self as well. And it's been an extraordinary gift. And I think it's led to all of the other lessons I was able to learn. Because if I didn't trust, then the thinking mind, the over-intellectual mind, the over-indoctrinated mind comes in and starts pushing everything else out. Well, there's no proof of this. Well, there's no proof of that. Well, I don't believe this. Well, who tells you that? Prove this to me. And then we end up missing out on all of that which is most precious in life. So if I can learn to trust, if I can learn to trust God, to trust the universe, to trust myself, you all can. Because we're not separate. It's not a separate God or a separate universe. I mean, if you trust me, you're sitting here, presumably because on some level you trust that what I say will be true, that it will be applicable to you, that it will benefit you in some way. So if you trust me that much, trust me in telling you that God and the universe and yourself are worth trusting, worth having faith in. You can let go of that death grip and surrender. And then all of the real divine magic starts to happen. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your evenings. Beautiful day for those joining us from all over the world. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow.